Hello, sports fans. We are ready for NFL picks for week number 12 in the league where they play for pay. And let's get right to it as I am coming off an absolutely spectacular week of picking games last week. I could go the next 10 years and not have a week like I did last week. I was absolutely on fire. I told you guys to use Dallas, Pittsburgh, New England, Oakland, Detroit, and the Giants in two-team teasers. They all won. No matter what combination you had, you were going to win. I was 8-0 in teasers last week. I was 10-1-1 straight up against the spread. I was 5-0 in the money line. I was 4-2 in the over and unders. I was 27-3-1 when you add them all up. For the year, I am 148, 73-3 against the spread, money line, teasers, and over and under. So last week was a tremendous week. I won big. I hope you guys capitalized on some of these picks. There was money to be made last week. All right, let's get right into week 12. Let's start with the Sunday games. Let's go up to Buffalo, where the Buffalo Bills are -7 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Buffalo up to 5-5 as they went into Cincinnati and beat the Bengals. Jacksonville down to 2-8, found another way to lose. The game was close to Detroit, but they lose it at the end. By the way, Detroit's had a habit of pulling these games out at the end, especially at home. But Jacksonville 2-8. Here we go again with them. Where do you think I'm going here? I like Buffalo. They had an important win last week. I think they're going to build off that win. They're coming home. Jacksonville is just in shambles. Every year we sit here and Jacksonville's 1-10, 2-9. They just cannot get out of their own way. This is a game you might want to look at the teaser. It's 7. You can move it down to 1. Play it with another team. Buffalo is going to win this game at home for sure. I like the Bills. That is pick number 1. Pick number 2. Let's go to Baltimore, where the Baltimore Ravens are -3 against the Cincinnati Bengals. Baltimore 5-5. They lost a tough game to Dallas. Led a lot of that game early. Second half, Dallas pulled away. Cincinnati 3-6-1. Lost to Buffalo, and now they got all sorts of issues. Green is out. The running back is out. The Bengals are falling completely apart. This is one of the most disappointing teams in the league. I got to go with Baltimore. I mean, I can't see Cincinnati doing much on offense, especially with their back end Green out. Got to like the Ravens here at home. I'll take Baltimore. That's pick number 2. Pick number 3. Let's go down to South Florida, where the Miami Dolphins are -8 against the San Francisco 49ers. Dolphins up to 6-4. They do it again. They rallied from 10-0 down to beat the Rams 14-10. Gutty win again by Miami. Tremendous job. I never thought Miami at 1-4 was going to get back to 6-4 here. Tremendous job by the Dolphins. Niners 1-9, lost to New England. What else is new with them? You gotta like Miami here. If you think the spread's too high, move it down to 2. That's a perfect teaser right there. Buffalo and Miami. You got to think both of these teams are going to win at home. I'm looking at both of those teams in teasers right off the bat. You got to like Miami there. That's pick number 3. Pick number 4. Let's go down to New Orleans, the Big Easy. You know how much I love those fans down there, those rowdy fans in Louisiana. The New Orleans Saints are -6 against the LA Rams. Saints are 4-6, lost to Carolina on Thursday night, tried to rally late. They were sleepwalking in the beginning of this game, tried to rally, came up short. Rams 4-6, like I said, blew a 10-0 lead at home in the fourth quarter. Goff, I mean, he was, I don't know what to make of Goff. They were very conservative with him, you know, no big plays down the field. The Rams were just trying to rely on their defense to win this game. I think the Rams are so offensively challenged, they just can't score more than 10 points. Goff may be a good quarterback in the future, but right now it's hard to see the Rams doing anything on offense. I got to like New Orleans at home. You know New Orleans can score. They even put up points against Seattle and Denver this year. Again, another game. Move the line down to pick them. Take New Orleans at home. I got to think the Saints are going to outscore the Rams down in the Big Easy. I like the Saints there. That's pick number 4. Pick number 5. Let's go to the dog pound in Cleveland. Some of the best fans in all of the NFL as well. They deserve a lot better. The Brown fans are definitely suffering as they are 0-11, lost to Pittsburgh. Giants up to 7-3. The Giants have won 5 in a row. I mean, are you kidding me? They struggled for a lot of the game against the Bears, but the Giants found another way to win. Here they are at 7-3. They don't look like a 7-3 team, but there they are, right there in the playoff hunt. Giants minus 6.5 in Cleveland this week. Again, you gotta like the Giants. Cleveland has not won a game. So you want to move the spread down to pick them, you got to think the Giants are going to win, right? You got to take the Giants straight up there, even if you don't like the 6.5. Cleveland hasn't won a game yet. You can't trust them. I like the Giants there. That's pick number 5. Pick number 6. Let's go to the Meadowlands in New Jersey. Not too far from here with the New England Patriots are minus 8.5 against the New York Jets. Pats up to 8-2, beat the Niners in the rain last week. We'll see about Gronkowski. He didn't play last week. Jets off a bye. They're 3-7. Jets are having a miserable season again. And I'm repeating myself. And I've been saying this for 3 months now. The spread's 8.5. Move it down to 2.5. Take New England in a teaser. You got to think the Pats are going to win here, right? I like New England. That's pick number 6. Pick number 7. Let's go down to Tampa Bay. Interesting game here. With the Seattle Seahawks on minus 5 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Seattle 7-2-1, beat Philadelphia at home. To me, Seattle and Dallas look like the best teams in the NFC. Might be the 2 best teams in football right now. Tampa Bay 5-5 had an impressive win on the road in Kansas City. Nice job by Tampa Bay. It was an interesting game, but I gotta like Seattle's defense. I mean, you have to always trust Seattle's defense. They're hot now. Russell Wilson looks a lot better. The offense looks a lot better. The running game and the offensive line look better. Again, maybe move this line down to pick 'em. It's minus 5. Maybe you get Seattle here plus 1. I think Seattle's going to find a way with their defense, cause a few turnovers. Seattle's going to find a way to win this game. Tough game, interesting game. I like Seattle to eke it out. That's pick number 7. Pick number 8, let's go down to Georgia. The Georgia Dome, where the Atlanta Falcons are minus 4.5 against the Arizona Cardinals. Atlanta 6-4 off a bye. Arizona 4-5-1, lost to Minnesota. Mistakes all over the place, giving up kick returns, 100-yard interception returns. Palmer got sacked and hit 4 billion times. Is Arizona not one of the most disappointing teams in the league? They were talking about this team going to the Super Bowl this year. I gotta like Atlanta here. At home with that high-powered offense, Arizona can't get out of their own way. I like Atlanta there. That's pick number 8. Pick number 9. Let's go to Denver, where the Denver Broncos are minus 3 against the Kansas City Chiefs. Denver off a bye. They are 7-3. Kansas City 7-3 also lost to Tampa Bay. This is the Sunday night game. Kansas City the last few weeks has not done much on offense, and they were flirting with a loss for a couple weeks there. Remember, Carolina had them beat. Carolina blew the game to them. Even Jacksonville was right in the game with Kansas City. And last week it caught up to Kansas City as Tampa Bay burned them. I don't like the way Kansas City's offense looks right now. So I'm going to take Denver. I think Denver's defense can shut them down, especially at home. I like Denver there. That's pick number 9. Pick number 10. Let's go to Philadelphia. Again, some of the best fans in all of the NFL. They really get rowdy down in Philadelphia. They are a great fan base, loyal fan base, and a passionate fan base, and we love them for that. Philadelphia at home, minus 3 against the Green Bay Packers. Philadelphia 5-5, lost to Seattle. Philadelphia is 4-0 at home. I've picked them all year at home. They've covered for me all year at home. Green Bay 4-6, lost to Washington. Green Bay is an absolute free fall right now, giving up 1,000,000 points. Again, they give up 30 points here. Their defense is Swiss cheese. They give up too many big plays. Aaron Rodgers can't do it by himself. I gotta like the Eagles here. This is a must-win game for Philadelphia if they have any hopes of making the playoffs. They're home. They've been good all year at home. They shut down Atlanta at home. They're going to score against Green Bay. Green Bay shows me nothing right now. I like Philadelphia at home. That's pick number 10. Pick number 11. Let's go to the Black Hole in Oakland, where they all get dressed up in their Darth Vader outfits and all their crazy costumes. The Oakland Raiders minus 3, 3.5 against the Carolina Panthers. Oakland 8-2, found a way to beat Houston. Did not play well, got a couple of breaks with the calls, but found a way to win. That's a sign of a good team when you don't play your best and you win. Huge crowd in Mexico City last night. Great atmosphere. The Raiders have a lot of magic this year. Coach pulling out all the stops, going for it again on 4th down last night. Everything going the Raiders' way right now. Carolina 4-6 beat New Orleans. Carolina, by the way, when the season is over, they're going to look to that Kansas City game when they blew that game as the game that really cost them this year. They could be up to 5-5 right now. They're 4-6. Listen, I cannot go against the Raiders. They have a lot of magic this year. I love the quarterback. I love the offensive line. The offense is great. The coach is making all the right moves. I got to go with the Raiders here. I just trust them now. The Raiders are like the way Carolina was last year. It's all going their way. I got to like Oakland here. I'll take Oakland. That's pick number 11. Pick number 12. Let's go to Soldier Field where the Chicago Bears are home. Pick them with the Tennessee Titans. Chicago 2-8, lost to the Giants. Who knows about Cutler? He could be done for the year. Tennessee 5-5, lost a tough game to Indianapolis. Tennessee was sleepwalking early in this game, fell behind 21-0. Tried to rally, but it was the Colts' day. Colts have Tennessee's number. Tennessee gave up way too many sacks in that game as well. That's Tennessee. They've been up and down this year, but I got to like Tennessee here. I know the game's in Chicago, but I think Tennessee is just better than the Bears right now. I don't trust Chicago at all. You can't trust them. You just cannot trust the Bears at all. I'll take Tennessee there on the road. And 4 games I am not going to pick because I just don't have a feel for them right now. Houston at home, -1 against San Diego. Houston 6-4 coming off a loss. San Diego 4-6 off a bye. I never know what to make of Charger games. And Houston is a very funny team, too. They played good enough to win last night, but they lost. They're a very strange team. I'm going to stay away from that game. Going to stay away from Detroit at home, -2.5 against Minnesota on Thanksgiving. Detroit is 6-4, Minnesota's 6-4, both coming off wins. This is for first place. The first game was wild and woolly. Detroit, every game this year has been decided by 1 touchdown or less. I don't know what to make either one of these teams in this game, so I'm going to stay away from that game. Got to stay away from Pittsburgh, Indianapolis right now because it's off the board because Luck has a concussion. Don't know if he's going to play. If he doesn't play, you got to like Pittsburgh. I'm going to stay away from that game right now. And Dallas, Washington on Thanksgiving. Dallas is at home, -7 against Washington. Dallas is 9-1, won 9 in a row. They've been very good to me. I've picked them every week and won. Washington having a nice year, 6-3-1, beat Green Bay. So Washington also doing some nice things. This spread might be a little high. It's a great rivalry game. Maybe look to tease this down. I'm going to stay away from this game and just enjoy this game. This is a classic rivalry on Thanksgiving. I'm just going to sit back and enjoy this game. Very, very tough game to pick there. So I'm going to stay away from those 4 games. So those are your picks for the NFL for week number 12. Like I said, an absolutely spectacular week last week for me picking. I might not have another week like that ever. I mean, just an unbelievable week. 27-3-1. That is just incredible. I mean, unbelievable picking by me last year. All right, let's get to some college football. I've taken a couple weeks off from college football because there hasn't been a lot going on in college football the last few weeks as far as games that have really stood out. I love this week in college football because you have all your rivalry games. It's also bittersweet because after this week, you're kind of done with the regular season in college football. You got to get into your bowl games, your conference championships, and your Final Four playoff. The college football season after this weekend is basically over. How fast did those 3 months go? I feel like we were just in Labor Day talking about the start of the season. Season's over now. How fast does college football go by? Let's get to some of these classic rivalry games. Let's start down in North Carolina, Chapel Hill, where the North Carolina Tar Heels are -11 against the North Carolina State Wolfpack. North Carolina doing a nice job this year. They are 8-3. North Carolina won the rivalry game last year. The all-time series, 66-33-6. North Carolina leads. NC State 5-6. They're playing for a bowl game because they've lost 5 of the last 6 games. I mean, North Carolina State not playing well at all down the stretch here. This is a game. North Carolina's favored by 11. I'm going to go with North Carolina and probably use the money line here. 11 might be a little too high in a rivalry game, so I'll take North Carolina there in the money line. That's pick number 1. Pick number 2, let's go to the Apple Cup. The Apple Cup, which is a very interesting game this year, where the Washington Huskies are -6 against the Washington State Cougars in Washington State. Washington leads the all-time series 70-32-6. They've won 3 straight. They are 10-1 this year, Washington. They have a chance for the Pac-12 title. They still have a chance for the Final Four playoff. This is a huge game for Washington. Washington State is 8-3 this year. They won 8 straight before losing to Colorado last week. Again, the spread is 6. I might want to move this game to pick 'em or play it in a money line, but I think Washington, with everything on the line for them, is going to find a way to win this game. So I'm going to take Washington here in the Apple Cup. Let's go to the duel in the desert on Friday, where the Arizona State Sun Devils are -3 against the Arizona Wildcats. Two disappointing teams. ASU is 5-6. Arizona 2-9. Arizona's lost 8 straight games. ASU, after going 4-0, has lost 5 straight games. Arizona State won last year. Arizona leads the all-time series 48-40-1. This is a very strange game. Two bad teams. Arizona State is playing for a bowl game here. I think they're a little better than Arizona. Arizona's fallen apart. Rich Rodriguez, what's happened out in Tucson? I'm going to go with ASU -3 in the desert there. Pick number 4. Let's go to the Battle of the Palmetto State, where the Clemson Tigers are at home, -25.5 against South Carolina. Clemson 10-1. They've won the ACC already. They're probably going to get to the Final Four playoff. They lead the all-time series 67-42-4. They've won the last 4. South Carolina has gotten up to 6-5 this year. They are on a little bit of a winning streak. They have won 4 out of 5 games, but you got to like Clemson to win here. If you think the spread is too high, I can see that, but you got to think Clemson is going to get through here and win this game. So I like Clemson there. That's pick number 4. Pick number 5. Let's go to Madison, Wisconsin. They play for the Paul Bunyan Axe in this game. Is there a better trophy in all of sports than the Paul Bunyan Axe? The Wisconsin Badgers at home, -14.5 against the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Wisconsin 9-2, still alive for the Big Ten title, still alive for the Final Four playoff. Wisconsin has won 12 in a row in this series. By the way, the all-time series, 59-58-8 Minnesota lead. So if Wisconsin wins this game, they tie the all-time series. Minnesota having a nice year, 8-3. This spread's a little high to me. 14.5 points, and Minnesota is having a nice year. I think Wisconsin wins, but I'm going to say Minnesota keeps it close, so I'll take Minnesota there. That's pick number 5. Pick number 6. They call this game clean, good old-fashioned hate as we go down to Athens, Georgia. As the Georgia Bulldogs are -4 against the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Both teams 7-4. Georgia has won 3 straight. Georgia Tech has won 2 straight. The all-time series dominated by Georgia, 65-40-5. Georgia won last year in Atlanta. This is a very strange game. I don't have a great feel for this game. Both teams have been choppy this year, so I'll take Tech with the 4. I think it's a field goal game either way. Very choppy game. Tech plays an interesting style with that triple option, so I'll take Tech to cover. I think it's a 3-point game either way. Pick number 7. Let's go to the Commonwealth Cup in Virginia, where the Vatech Hokies are -20 against the Virginia Cavaliers. Vatech, nice year, 8-3. Virginia, awful year, 2-9. They've lost 6 straight. Vatech dominating this series, 55-37-5. They've won 12 in a row. You gotta like Vatech to lay it on UVA here. I like Vatech. That's pick number 7. Pick number 8, the Egg Bowl. The Egg Bowl as we go down to Ole Miss the Grove in Oxford, Mississippi. Ole Miss -7.5 against Mississippi State. Ole Miss very disappointing, 5-6, still alive for a bowl. Quarterback is out. They lead the all-time series 63-43-6. They've won the last 2. Mississippi State very disappointing at 4-7. Ole Miss is 7.5-point favorite here. Both teams are disappointing. I don't like either team, so I'll take Mississippi State to cover. I think this is going to be an ugly, sloppy mess down in Oxford. I'll take Mississippi State just to keep it close because I think both teams are bad this year. That's pick number 8. Pick number 9. Let's go out to Southern California. Beautiful Southern California with all that nice weather. USC Trojans -17 against Notre Dame. USC 8-3, won 7 in a row. There is no team hotter than USC right now. Notre Dame 4-7. They are having an absolutely awful year. Notre Dame won last year. Notre Dame leads the series 46-36-5. I gotta like USC here to just pound Notre Dame. Notre Dame has shown me nothing this year. They've shown me no guts this year. I'll take USC. They're just too hot right now. That's pick number 9. Pick number 10. The Battle of the Sunshine State as we go down to Tallahassee, Florida. Florida State at home, -8 against the Florida Gators. I mean, the all-time season series, Florida leads, believe it or not, 34-24-2. Florida off the big win in Baton Rouge last week. Florida's having a nice year at 8-2. Florida State a disappointing 8-3. They have won 3 straight. Florida State has won the last 3 in this series, but I think 8's a little high in this rivalry. Florida State hasn't impressed me all that much this year. I'm going to take Florida with their defense to at least keep it close. I'll take the Gators there, although I do think the Seminoles eke it out. That's pick number 10. Pick number 11, the Sunflower Showdown as we go to Kansas, where Kansas State is -26 against the Kansas Jayhawks. Kansas State 6-4. Nobody does a better coaching than Bill Snyder. I mean, he just does an unbelievable job. It's an impossible place to win, and Kansas State finds a way every year to get to a bowl game. Kansas 2-9. They did beat Texas last year. That seals Charlie Strong's fate at Texas. You can't lose to Kansas under any circumstance. Kansas 2-9. Kansas leads the all-time season series 64-44-5, but I like K-State to roll here. Kansas had their one win. They had their one big win against Texas last week. Now they're going to fall flat on their face. Kansas State rolls in this game. That's pick number 11. Pick number 12. Let's go to the Civil War, as they call it. The Oregon Ducks are -3 against the Oregon State Beavers in Corvallis. Oregon, a very disappointing 4-7. Did have a nice win at Utah last week. Oregon leads the series 63-46-10. They've won 8 straight. Oregon State 3-8 this year, having a miserable season. I gotta like Oregon. They just had a huge win in Utah last week, and I think they're gonna follow that up and beat a very bad Oregon State team. So I like Oregon there. That is pick number 12. Pick number 13. Let's go to the Iron Bowl. Let's go to the Iron Bowl, one of the classic college football rivalries of all time, with the Alabama Crimson Tide, a -20 against the Auburn Tigers. Alabama 11-0. I mean, they're on their way to winning another national title right now. They lead the all-time series 44-35-1. They've won 2 straight. Auburn is 8-3. Kind of a little disappointing this year. Auburn, I thought they'd be a little better this year. Auburn has a knack of keeping these games close with Alabama. Now listen, do I think Auburn can win? No, but I think the game might be a little closer than people think. So I'm going to take Auburn with the 20 here to at least keep it somewhat close. I mean, I still think Alabama wins, but they could still win by 19 and I cover. So I'll take Auburn plus 20 there just because I have so much respect for the Iron Bowl. Pick number 13. This is the final pick for me this week. Let's go to, I'm sorry, this is pick number 14. This is the final pick for me. The game as we go to Columbus, Ohio. The Ohio State Buckeyes, -7.5 against the Michigan Wolverines. Ohio State 10-1. They are off a very, very shaky win against Michigan State, where Michigan State had a chance to win, missed a 2-point conversion, would have knocked Ohio State out of everything. Michigan 10-1. Quarterback may not play this week. Michigan has looked very spotty the last couple of weeks, not doing much on offense. Michigan leads the all-time series 58-47-6. Ohio State has won the last 4. I'm going to move this line down to 1.5, and I'm going to take Ohio State. I think Ohio State's going to find a way at home to win this game. Michigan's offense the last 2 weeks, I mean, they lose to Iowa. They don't look good last week against Indiana. We don't know if the quarterback's going to play. Everything on the line here for both teams. I'm going to take Ohio State in the game. So those are your picks for college football. For the year this year in college football, I am 40-24-4 against the spread. So those are your picks for NFL and college football. I watched some boxing over the weekend. I watched Ward and Kovalev. Ward won a controversial decision. He won by 1 point on all the cards. I thought Kovalev won. Kovalev had a knockdown in this fight. I thought Kovalev won a close decision. They gave it to Ward. I would disagree with that. They're definitely going to have a rematch in the summer. This was not a great fight. It was pretty good. It was not a classic. Too much holding. The controversy again with the decision. I feel like every boxing pay-per-view is either a bad fight or a controversy with the decision. I mean, come on, boxing, get it together already. So they'll definitely have a rematch. I thought Kovalev won, but it wasn't a classic fight. It was pretty good, not great. And the undercard is, as usual, not anything to talk about besides more controversial decisions. You got your NBA going on. You got your NHL, college basketball going on. So you got all sorts of stuff to watch. Klinsmann out as coach of the USA men's national soccer team. I hope they hire Arenas from the LA Galaxy. He'd be a perfect choice to coach this team. There you go. You guys are all caught up. You guys are all set. You guys have a happy and healthy Thanksgiving weekend. Enjoy the games. Thanks so much for all the support and the great messages. You guys pick a lot of winners. Make a lot of money. I'll talk to you guys very, very soon. Take care.